What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Final Whistle. I'm Danny here, joined alongside my guy, Nathan Ostler. Merry Christmas. Christmas special. Celebrate Christmas. We both do. And Christmas, if we're filming this on Christmas Eve, if you're watching this, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas.
Sadly, no snow
today. Yeah.
No snow outside.
Yeah, it is going to be a white Christmas for the first time in a while.
Hope so.
I'm decked out in my gear. You're not too festive today. What's going on?
Listen, I have a winter pirate hat, but I don't think it fits anymore.
See, I can. How about that?
All my
that's art.
All my Christmas sweaters, I think, are gone.
That's art. You can't teach this.
I don't know where it is.
You honestly can't teach this.
Here, I got this. Here, keep going.
All right,
keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking. But I used to wear this little beard. It was a beard from a Build-A-Bear, actually, that I would wear for Christmas. Canada. I mean, it's red and white.
Christmas.
It's red and white, sure. Yeah, the scarf. Yeah. Scarf, Christmas vibe. I'll take it.
I like it
for some reason, like when I associate with Canada, I don't associate Canada with Christmas for some reason. I feel like they just don't celebrate Christmas.
Winter time.
I feel like that's an American thing, even though I just know it's not.
No, I got a hockey stick below my desk. That's that out too.
Yeah, I don't think does the NHL play on Christmas.
I know NBA is.
Yeah, NBA is dying, dude.
Yeah, this year's NBA has been kind of.
This is the worst.
Everyone's injured.
The rookies are terrible.
Some of them are okay. Some majority are bad.
They're all. Jared McCain was like the golden goose, and he's out for the year. I don't know if we'll get the Ben Simmons treatment next year.
I don't know if you get them because I repost them. I've been reposting all these darts TikToks because it's this huge thing that goes viral. Someone commented, "Why is darts more appealing than NBA right now?"
Dude, low-key, I see the guy that walks out and he's like
Stephen Bunting.
Yeah, is he the guy?
He walks out of titanium.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. I was obsessed with this last year. At this time last year was all we had. Luke Littler.
I actually bet on Bunting the one time. Someone was like, "Dude, this guy's fire," and I was like, "Very bad."
That guy has aura.
He does have aura.
Full
aura.
Darts clears NBA and NHL.
Right now, yes. Right now. Dude, NBA is so dead. Like, it is the most boring. And it is my favorite sport. It is so boring. I think it's also a fact that my favorite team is just horrific.
That can do it.
That can do it. Like, dude, it is. I can't even watch the games. We get up by a lead in the third quarter. It's close in the fourth quarter, and then that's over.
Listen, that can do it. If your team sucks, that's like with the Pirates. Like once they start hitting that wall, I still follow them, but it's like, the Penguins too. They hit that wall, but now they're winning again.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So today, Merry Christmas Eve, everyone.
Yeah.
See if this goes maybe an hour, whatever.
Sure.
Maybe longer. I don't know if we're gonna do it Friday or Thursday. Depends on holiday schedule. But thinking today, we're gonna cover maybe 2 or 3 games that we just watched this past weekend. Probably starting with the elephant in the room, good old Pittsburgh, Baltimore, maybe 2 other ones. And then we want to play some Christmas games. We're going to have a naughty and nice list of athletes and teams that have been good and bad this whole year. And then you brought up doing a wish list. So what do you want, like free agents, trades, like that type of things? Or like
yeah, for your team, for
someone to win something.
So like if you were a Mets fan and Soto wasn't signed, you'd be like, you know what? Soto's on my wish list, but obviously they got their wish. So, like, for us, it'd be like Roki, Sasaki, something like that. Anything.
I do. Listen, I'll say this. I'll make this deal. Because I did this last year when the Vlad Jr. trade rumors were crazy by now.
Okay.
If the Pirates land a free agent in Roki Sasaki, Anthony Santander, or Teoscar Hernandez, because they won't happen, I'll do the polar plunge.
Okay.
I will go in the Youghiogheny River.
Youghiogheny. We'll have to see that.
Full of needles.
Oh. That's good.
They will all jump in there. I'll jump. I was gonna do it if Vlad Jr. was coming. That didn't happen. But if Roki Sasaki comes here, I will be doing the polar plunge. I will sign up.
Deal. We'll post it.
Okay.
Let's hop into. We'll start with Steelers Ravens.
Let's do it. I didn't record what you wanted me to because I wanted to be sane. I was mad. I was mad. I'll let you start, but
so if anyone knows or takes very much detail to the show, this is a new chair.
Really?
Because my old chair I broke.
Oh.
After the Steelers game.
Oh.
Broke my chair.
No. That goes on the
So.
naughty list.
Yeah. So I broke my chair. It was already kind of broken, but I ended it. I ended its life. It was like per se, this chair was like a dog, and it just couldn't move anymore. It was old. It was on its last life. But instead of joyfully just rolling it out to the curb and putting it there, I threw it on the ground, kicked it after, Russ did his thing. So we got a new chair. I can lean back in this one. It actually has back support. But rest in peace to the old chair. Shout out the Steelers for breaking my chair. But what a miserable game that was. And I've never seen us be that, or I've never seen the Steelers-Ravens game be that one-sided in a very long time. How about you?
Listen, I'm sending out the link to people to watch, but that game, man, I want to hear more of your takes because I got to hold it all in.
I mean, it was pathetic.
Like it's
from
been
a defensive
boiling.
standpoint. You look at it, Derrick Henry's only averaged 65 yards in his career against Pittsburgh leading up to that game. That's good, great numbers for Derrick Henry. And then we give up 160 some yards to Derrick Henry. I mean, they put belt to ass against us, and they ran Derrick Henry down our throat. And Lamar didn't run at all because we've always been good at containing Lamar. They really couldn't pass the ball that greatly on us. There was nothing really over a 30-yard play that was, bad, but they capitalized on third downs. The Steelers just offense couldn't get it moving. It just proves again that what we cannot do it without George Pickens. The Steelers offense relies on George Pickens as a receiving threat. I think that this week also proved a positive thing is that Calvin Austin can be a reliable receiver at times. And I thought that was enjoyable to watch. Pat Freiermuth is dead weight. I think he's just dead weight. He's dead weight.
See, I've noticed this the last few weeks with Russ, especially. There's a certain guy on this team that I was really happy Russ was given the ball in Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened in the last 3 weeks or so. Mm-hmm. Freiermuth's targets have gone down. We saw Michael Pruitt get his first ever touchdown, it seems, on a 1-yard pass. Russell Wilson, I think, without George Pickens, has determined that he's not going to throw to his tight ends anymore. He doesn't have a security blanket in a good tight end because the Steelers' tight end room, don't get me wrong, isn't perfect, but Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, that's a solid 1-2 combo in my 1-2 punch, and they're going to do some damage. Like Freiermuth's getting more touchdowns because he's getting more targets. He hasn't been getting those targets lately. And then Darnell Washington as well. I mean, Freiermuth went 3 receptions, 3 targets, had 16 yards. Like his longest was 7. He's not getting targeted as much as I think he should, but I don't think that's the reason the Steelers lost this game. We brought it up on, it would have been, I think, Thursday or Friday last week. I think it was Thursday last week. About how the Steelers could have won this game. The last time the Steelers played the Ravens, they stopped Derrick Henry. They still allowed him to get a touchdown, but they were able to stop him. How were they able? Then they were also able to, then we went through, I guess, how they were going to beat Philly. They had to stop Saquon Barkley. They didn't beat Philly, but they semi-stopped Saquon Barkley a majority of the game. I know he went out for about a whole quarter, but they held him, I think, to 67 rushing yards. I think it was his least of the season. So you're going into this game, it's like, okay, how are you going to stop Derrick Henry again? Can you do it again? 24 carries, 162 yards, 44-yard rushes his longest. The Ravens were the team that made the adjustments that they needed to do, because I'm not even going to blame injuries. I'm not going to be the person to put the blame on excuses. No, the Steelers could have beat this Ravens team.
Yeah.
And I get they were depleted, but they clearly were not prepared. This is the Steelers team I've been worried. And I think every Yinzer in Southwestern PA and across the nation, Danny, has been worried that this was going to be the Steelers' fate. They were slowly going to get gutted from the inside, I guess. They're going to chip away at, they're going to get their own injuries. Injury bug's going to take over. What have we seen? The injury bug taken over. George Pickens. They just lost Dante Jackson, who hasn't been the best. He has a lot of picks, but hasn't played proper, really good defense. But he was probably their best corner. They lost him that game. I don't know what his injury status is tomorrow. Joey Porter Jr. went out that game, and he hasn't even been that good this year. So there goes maybe 2 of your better corners. So there's a possibility against the Chiefs tomorrow. They're going to be rocking James Pierre and Cam Sutton as corners 1 and 2, depending on injuries. Deshaun Elliott, he's been out. And that, in my opinion, has been their better safety this year. And I know I was talking bad on Minka a lot. He finally got that splash play. So
I was going to text you right when he got that, and then we threw a pick right after. So.
Yep. And that's the thing. The Steelers played sloppy football. It was clear. I have turned heel in the moment on Russell Wilson, clearly. I was a believer in Russ, but that was an important game to me because I was tired of waiting till the end of the season to clinch a division or make a playoff spot. And I'm happy he owned up to his mistakes. Don't get me wrong. He owned up to it. But that was probably the worst we've seen of Russell Wilson this year, this whole season. I still want to believe in him, but at what I saw from him these past 2 weeks without a wide receiver 1 in George Pickens, and I'm not placing the excuses here, but he has not been able to do anything. And if there's one person I'm placing the blame on, it's Omar Khan. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You've heard me preach this. I'm really high on his work as the Steelers GM these first 2 seasons. He's brought in some pretty good free agents. We haven't seen a guy in Patrick Queen get signed as a free agent for the Steelers in a very long time. Yeah. It's usually through trades and extensions. Patrick Queen, however, hasn't been Patrick Queen we've seen in the past. A lot of that money could have been used on a solid wide receiver. And every Steelers fan has been preaching since the failed Brandon Ayuk thing, failed Devontae Adams, supposedly, the failed rumors about Cooper Kupp, solid receivers. They just didn't go after. Brandon Ayuk was supposedly the closest one. Even though Brandon Ayuk isn't that good, he is a security blanket. He is a solid receiver 1 or 2 on any other team. But for the Steelers, that would have been a perfect addition because the question was, what happens if George Pickens goes down? Clearly, they see Calvin Austin as their wide receiver 1. I know Van Jefferson is getting 2 targets. Ben Skoranek had 2 targets. They used him a lot. Jaylen Warren was their second leading receiver. This offense is kind of lost without a guy in George Pickens. And there's people that are like, don't sign George Pickens because he's a train wreck. Don't sign him because he's a bad habit or he's a bad example for the youth or whatever. I'm giving him a blank check. I don't care. George Pickens is clearly wide receiver 1. He might be wide receiver on 2 on other teams, like the Vikings, like the Bengals. He's not a wide receiver 1 on every team. But for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he is their wide receiver 1. This is their guy. And he is a free agent, not this season, but the end of next season. And I highly doubt if he is not given a contract at the end of this season to extend him, I don't think the Steelers are going to re-sign him. And it's making me a little nervous because I've seen what they're doing without him. They clearly can't do anything. And I'll give all the props in the world to this Baltimore Ravens team. Don't get me wrong. They were the better team everywhere. There were missed tackles on the Steelers' defense part. They had some splash plays, but they failed to recover, I think, 2 fumbles. That came back to bite them a couple times. And the second one was the worst one where it was the muffed punt or whatever. And then the Steelers couldn't pick it up. And then the Ravens got like 10 extra yards because the ball just kept bouncing. No one wanted to pick it up. Yeah. Special teams disappeared that game. The Ravens, however, they showed up. They showed up to play football. Lamar Jackson, amazing game from him. I know he had the really bad pick, but it got canceled out by Russell Wilson's fumble and his bad pick. That interception, that pick 6 by Russell Wilson and Marlon Humphrey is going to live in my head the rest of the season. I'm not even going to blame the referees. There were some bad things. Like I saw a tweet going viral that it was on the Marlon Humphrey. He was taunting on the way to the end zone. Someone said if that was George Pickens, he would have been fined and basically suspended. But it is what it is. It happens. I get it. The Steelers, the fate is in their own hands now. They have to win out. The Ravens, I think, have the better chance of winning the division. And I think it's in the Steelers' best bet right now is we can probably talk about it in a little bit. If they're not going to win the division, they're probably going to be the 5 seed heading to an injury-depleted Houston Texans. So it would be 4 versus 5. And the Texans just lost Tank Dell, which I feel really bad for because I texted you after. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I think it was you I texted. I was like,
Tank Dell.
Yeah, he's the most unlucky NFL. He's broken torn his ACL. Tore his ACL, and I think he broke his leg last year too, something like that. But like they signed Deontay Johnson. I just talked to my one buddy today. I was like, the most Steelers script writing thing that the NFL, if there's a hypothetical script writer people joke about, it's for the Steelers to head to Houston and face the team that just signed former Steeler Deontay Johnson.
Oh, Houston signed Deontay.
Yeah, they got him off of waivers.
I did not see that. Wow.
I think it was yesterday.
Okay.
So they practically signed him for free because there were rumors that the Steelers would be on him. It was, I think, the Steelers, Texans, and Chargers, but I didn't really want him back, and we were, I think, in waiver order behind both those teams. And the Texans, it makes a lot of sense because who's their wide receiver one now? Deontay Johnson. Is Nico Collins healthy? Is he back? I know Stephon Diggs is out. So Deontay Johnson's automatically their wide receiver two, you would think, unless he doesn't get the ball. But there's a lot of question marks. Before I keep rambling, I do want to throw it back to you to keep the conversation going here. But there's a lot of question marks for these final two games.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up for the last 5 minutes the Steelers playoff thing, but I keep getting it's not letting me. It says New York Times.
I'm happy they're in.
I wanted to do the predictions on how we could win the division, but
they have to win out practically.
Yeah, but then what if the Ravens win out?
I think we have tiebreaker because of AFC records.
So, but I it wouldn't let me pull anything up here. So I was trying to see who the Ravens play, who we play. Here's the Ravens' last game. Let's look up Ravens.
They played the Browns the last week.
Yeah, so they play the Browns. Yeah, so we need them to lose to the Texans.
They played the Texans and Browns. So
they have to lose very important. They have to lose one of those games for us to get this division. They have to. Now, if we beat the Chiefs, I think the division's ours. But if not, then we're good.
I don't know. I think the Ravens. We both picked them to win this division. Yes. I think the Steelers practically shot themselves in the butt this game.
Absolutely.
This was not a good loss to take. I understand.
Well, I mean, you knew you were gonna. You had to assume you're gonna split these games. I mean,
and they've been beating the Ravens lately too.
They have.
They're on a streak.
Yeah.
And I'll take it. I guess we're spoiled because we've been beating the Ravens for a very long time. It seemed, but this was not the time to end that losing streak. No. Just because the Steelers could have been in an amazing situation where they could have won this game and then nursed their injuries.
It all comes down to that Browns game. If we won that Browns game in Cleveland, it's Cowboys, though, were healthy at the time. They had Dak, they had CD. That's a good team on paper whenever they're healthy. They didn't have Micah, though. The Colts was a bad loss, but that's early in the season. That's your backup quarterback. So, yeah, Chris said you got to
I'm thinking KC. Texans.
You have to be KC. Have to.
I'm thinking the Steelers. Going back to this, I think the Steelers will be in Houston because it looks like
the playoff game.
It looks like KC is going to have that one seed because all they need to do is win one of their final two games.
Yeah,
Buffalo has to win out.
Yeah,
because Buffalo has the tiebreaker over them.
I would love for us to beat Kansas City in Kansas City.
If we beat Kansas City tomorrow, Merry Christmas, Steelers Nation. If they do, I'll believe again and be like, okay, maybe they can win a playoff.
It's possible. I mean, the Chiefs just aren't good, but they win games. They win these games, dude. I'm telling you. But it's close. It's never not close.
Both of these football teams have so many flaws right now. They both underperform their expectations, I think, to make games be close. This Chiefs team almost lost to the Carolina Panthers on the road.
I'll tell you who's going to go off the team. It's going to be Travis Kelce, legacy game.
I could see that.
We're not going to be able to stop Travis Kelce.
Well, the Steelers have a hard time stopping tight ends anyway.
Yep.
I remember last year I went to the terrible game against the Cardinals. I signed Trey McBride in fantasy because I bet money. I he's going to tear up this middle linebacker core because no one can. It seems like any middle linebacker we get, and I love Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen, but they have a hard time stopping tight end play. And this comes back to the mind of it's like there's been so many missed tackles this year, and I don't want to start this hypothetical yet, but I'll ask this question. When do you think Steelers Nation is going to start questioning Terrell Austin as defensive coordinator?
Never.
You're so quick on Matt Canada, and I know he sucked, but look at his defense.
It's still one of the best in the NFL. I mean, obviously, they're not going to be perfect every week.
Man, I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited to maybe get some corners, a wide receiver.
Yeah.
This team's in a situation. I think Russ is going to be coming back, but he needs to start winning over a lot of Yinzers. Because if this Steelers team, I guess to close my Steelers takes before we move on, if this Steelers team does not win a playoff game, I cannot wait to see the reaction of Pittsburgh and the Yinzer mob Tomlin will be, and you know what? I'll add this about Tomlin. We had another terrible punt 2 weeks in a row. I think it was down by 1 score or 2 scores at a time yet again. They had enough time. They punted away on 4th and whatever. But then there was the one play, they did a 4th down, 4th and 8 or whatever it was, and they did a deep ball to Calvin Austin in double coverage. Just get the first down. I don't know who's drawn bad. It was also a bad game from Arthur Smith too, but like this clock management, it's every year. It starts to bite them. Bad decisions. We've seen 2 bad punts that came back to probably bite them.
Mm-hmm.
Not throwing all the blame on Mike Tomlin, but you see where I'm going here. It happens every year.
Oh, I'm not going there with Tomlin. I'm
the
a Tomlin
guy. Rabbit hole.
We're not getting there. Let's move on to pick a few games. I mean, do we want to talk Chiefs Texans?
Not really. I guess thoughts go out to Tank Dell. I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
that's all I have.
Again, another 1-score game with the Chiefs where they hold on to a win. Just man, they're gonna. That's the only reason I really believe the Steelers game is they've so many close games, and the Steelers usually pull those out. So
I still think in the AFC the favorites are the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens.
Yeah,
easily. I think the Steelers and Texans are just going to be there and be like, whoever wins that game is going to be sent to the Hounds to get beat up by the Chiefs or Bills.
The game I would love to talk about. The Eagles Commanders.
I was going to bring this up.
Great game.
Your guy, KP.
A little bit upset about this game. Kenny Franchise lost. Kenny Franchise lost 143 yards, 1 touchdown interception. Listen, I was always a Kenny Pickett guy, always a Kenny Pickett believer. I literally yesterday I bought a PSA 10. I'll pull it up here. PSA 10 rookie Kenny Pickett card. I got this yesterday.
How much?
I don't know if you can see it. Well, I got it for 20. Let's see if I can get it. I got it for 25, but I don't think
thank goodness, because I was at a card show and they were selling those for $200.
Look.
Ooh.
That's kind of fire. The Steelers logo.
Okay.
But on the outside looking at Kenny Pickett, because I was always on the inside. I was a Steelers fan. I was like, I mean, dude, like he doesn't throw to who he should throw to. He's scared. He plays football so scared to make a pick. He cares way too much about the media. He cares way too much about, are people going to be making fun of me after this game? Am I going to be on memes? I don't want to do that. Like, he's way too scared to just be like, you know what? Like, I'm going to throw this 20-yard hitch route, and I'm going to throw the ball before, A.J. Brown makes his cut. So by the time he makes his cut, the ball's right. That's what a good quarterback does. Kenny Pickett is scared to do that because he doesn't want to throw interceptions. So what you see him do is he escapes the pocket too early, and he will try and throw to a check down, or he'll try and just throw the ball to someone or in the dirt. Like, he cannot throw the ball downfield at all. He refuses to. It is pathetic to watch. And, I was like, damn, like, I really want Kenny to succeed. Man, it's going to be tough for him to succeed. On the other hand, Jaden Daniels, man, this guy's a dog. 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions really just wasn't his fault. Hit off the one dude's face and then bounced up in the air. Jaden Daniels, also the leading rusher of this game, 81 yards on 9 carries. No rushing touchdown for Jaden Daniels. Scary Terry, 60 yards, 5 catches. And A.J. Brown, 97 yards and 8 catches. Saquon, 150 yards. God, on 30 carries.
I'd kill to have that every week.
That Eagles team, man, I'll tell you what, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a Super Bowl problem. I mean, he has a concussion. He'll be fine. They've already clinched, so
yes,
maybe
why play him?
Live with Kenny Franchise. Imagine this: Hurts goes down with an injury. Kenny Pickett leads the Eagles to the Super Bowl. You don't know how big of a fan I'd be. I would be the biggest Eagles fan of all time.
So looking back, I guess my takeaway from this is I'll just say this about Jaden Daniels very quick. I'm high on Bo Nix. I've been pushing for him to be in rookie of the year candidates. Jaden Daniels has been kind of sloppy these last few weeks. Ever since the Steelers game, I feel like he's been playing in fear or being held back because of the ribs. This was his back. This was his I'm back in that rookie of the year candidate moment. I think he balled out besides the 2 picks. He only took 1 sack, 81 rushing yards, 258 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. What not could you ask for? The Eagles. I want to bring up the terrible towel curse. How about that? Do you see the video of the Eagles fan chucking the terrible towel when they beat them?
Now they got to deal with Kenny Pickett.
And you know what happened? Jalen Hurts gets concussed. I'm not rooting for a concussion, but he got concussed and they lose. Last year, the Eagles had this late season collapse due to injuries, not benching guys. They were losing useless games at the end of the year, and then they went to Tampa Bay in the first round and lost. This year, however, they're going to probably have the 2 seed, I would presume. It's probably going to be the Lions getting that 1. But who knows? This Eagles team, if they have another one of these collapses, this is where the Nick Sirianni talks will happen again. This was not a good loss to take if you're them. This could have been we're going to be the dominant team in the NFC East type of thing. You could have told the Commanders this game, you're not going to have a chance the next couple years. Jaden Daniels, you are never going to win a division. This could have been the stomping of the Commanders this game. This could have been a statement. If the Eagles were to, I guess, destroy the Commanders this week, this Eagles team would probably propel to one of my Super Bowl favorites. If not, maybe.
I think they are one Super Bowl.
I think they might be the favorite if they would have did that. They didn't. It was a bad loss. They allowed a touchdown in the final, I think 6 seconds it was. Tough. Their offense completely disappeared. I know they put up 21 points in the first. I know Kenny had that touchdown. He had a really bad interception, but Saquon Barkley kind of carried that offense. But then their offense practically disappeared in the second half, only field goals, and that's part of the reason they lost. Their defense allowed 22 points in the fourth quarter. No one, I don't think, talks enough about the Eagles' defense having some issues. I know their secondary is pretty good, but 22 points in the fourth quarter to a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, even though he's pretty good, that can't happen if you're a Super Bowl contender. That is going to be needing fixed. And I've listened to so many videos of Philly fans complaining about this because Philly and Pittsburgh fans are just the same thing. We have the most overreactions types of fan bases ever. This team just won 10 in a row, and their fans are acting like they're done. Like the season's over. They hate it. But yeah, I'm looking, and I was going to ask you this question before we move on. If hypothetical situation, just for fun.
Yep.
You have Kenny Pickett and Will Levis on the same football team. They are on the worst team in the NFL. So put them on the Giants. You give them each 100 drives downfield. Who scores the most touchdowns? Who leads that team the most down the field?
Does it have to be a touchdown pass?
I'm thinking here. Either way, any touchdown. They're playing the worst team in football, too. It's Giants-Jaguars or Giants-Raiders.
Give me franchise.
Which quarterback has the most touchdown drives?
Pickett with the flow in the back. He's going to dominate. He's going to drive down the field. He'll hit his little checkdowns against the Jags. Will Levis will be too worried about Gia Duddy in the crowd. So we're going to go with Kenny Pickett here.
I think Will Levis is done in the league.
I think Kenny Pickett – I'll tell you the teams Kenny Pickett would start on. Ready? Kenny Pickett is a starter on the New York Giants. Kenny Pickett is a starter on the Kenny Pickett's a starter on the Browns. Kenny Pickett is a starter on the Titans. Yes, he is. He's better than James. He's better than DTR.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
I'm sorry. I can't agree with that.
You don't think Kenny's better than Jameis or DTR? Are you serious?
I can't do that. Maybe second string to Jameis. I still like Jameis. Crazy. I know he throws picks, but
Kenny starts on the Titans. Kenny is not starting on the Colts. Kenny is starting on the Carolina Panthers over Bryce.
No.
Kenny,
I don't think they would ever do that. It's fair, but I don't think they would. Kenny
starts on the Jaguars currently with Mac Jones. Kenny starts on the Raiders straight up. And Kenny is would start for the Cowboys right now. Kenny would start for the – who else is injured? Anyone else injured? Yeah.
I have a question for you before you keep moving on. Just thinking about the Giants right now. I know Daniel Jones is on the Vikings. If the Vikings clinch their playoff spot and they don't, do you think we see Daniel Jones the final week of the season play?
That would be electric. Vikings?
I hope he does. I think he's their backup or third string. I don't know what it is, but I hope he plays. Imagine this: the Vikings go on and like Sam Darnold goes out. I don't want that to happen, but imagine Daniel Jones is the QB and wins them a playoff game. Imagine the riots in New York City. If the Giants fans have to watch Daniel Jones lead the Vikings. That would be fire. I would love it. Awesome. I've never hated Daniel Jones. I don't think he's.
Neither have I. I don't have a problem with any of the Giants.
He was.
I don't like the Jets. They remind me so much of what I hated about the Brooklyn Nets but they
Yeah.
just stacked their team. They just kept getting everyone. They were supposed to win everything, and then
Yep.
it was horrible.
See,
So
the thing with Daniel Jones, I think I talked to you about this a couple weeks ago when the cut happened. His problem was he was overdrafted. They saw how he did in the combine, and they just struck at it. Like they took a probably third or fourth round rated QB who was probably destined to be a bench guy. Like I think it was like top 5. That was just not smart.
yeah,
I guess you could say also the Colts might have did that with Anthony Richardson, but he's at least shown some glimpses. I guess because I know you're still high on it.
he's shown glimpses. He's bad.
Yeah.
He's playing terrible.
He's shown
this year.
some glimpses.
I would not get his rookie card. I would
What
not.
was I don't even
I
want to
would
do
not
the I don't want to do a breakdown of the game because they only play the Titans, but I want to look. I saw his box score for box score nerds at
Not good.
7 of 11, 131 yards, touchdown,
It's
and a
not
pick.
good.
70
It's not
rushing
good.
yards. Jonathan Taylor, however, 200.
No one talks about him because how bad that team is. 3
Maybe like
tutties
30 some fantasy
and
points. this week.
218 yards. Good lord.
Do we have any other games to talk about? I know Chargers Broncos was a good game. Chargers took that.
We talked about that last episode.
Let's see here.
Let me ask you this. I was talking about it with a few of my guys in a group chat. We discussed it. Who would you rather have on your team? This is not their teams. You're starting a team over. Who would you rather have? Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts?
Justin Herbert.
Okay.
You know me and Justin Herbert.
I said the same thing. And then they sent me a clip of myself on the first episode of the Final Whistle saying that I will take Jalen Hurts over Justin Herbert.
I remember you saying that.
Let me clarify this.
Clip farming.
As of right now, I think Jalen Hurts is on a better team. I think that Jalen Hurts is more flashy. I think the Eagles are a way better team than the
Chargers.
That being said, I think if you take Jalen Hurts out and you put Justin Herbert in, I don't think they succeed as much. Okay? I don't think they're as good as a team with Justin Herbert as they are with Jalen Hurts. I think if you take Jalen Hurts and you put him on the Chargers, I don't think they succeed as much. I think Jalen Hurts is such a unique player to that Eagles team to where he would not succeed like that anywhere else in the league. That being said, if I'm starting a team over, which is what the question is, I am taking Justin Herbert.
I love his
He has
potential.
better passing stats. He's got a better completion percentage. He's got everything better. He doesn't have as many rushing touchdowns, and he doesn't have as many rushing yards, obviously, because he's not a rushing quarterback. So I would rather have Justin Herbert on a fresh team than Jalen Hurts, okay? But for the Eagles, I would rather have Jalen Hurts than half the league.
Can I just
Maybe
say this
Josh
about
Allen.
Herbert, why I like him?
Yeah.
He does more with less.
I agree. And
Who's his
if
number
you
one?
look at
Lad
it,
McConkey?
and he's never had anything. He had 3 years of an Austin Eckler prime.
Now, Jalen Hurts, like you said, is designed for that Philly offense.
Yes.
Like he is, I think, the only quarterback that could properly do that tush push. It's designed for Jalen Hurts. He's a solid mobile QB for the Philadelphia Eagles that can win them a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can do it. He gets a lot of hate for no reason. I don't know why Philly fans hate him. But like, it was whenever they almost lost to the Panthers. Like I saw so many videos of Philly fans like despising Jalen Hurts. Like I want him off my team. Go draft a quarterback. Sign a quarterback. Like what are we doing here? I mean, I don't really like the Eagles, but it's like he's good. Like seriously, he's still young.
Yeah.
He's what's his age? I forget how old he is, but like this Eagles team is set, man. They are set. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
I don't really have. He's 26. 26 years old. He's the same age as Kenny Pickett. Their backup. Tanner McKee's their youngest QB. He's 24. Tanner McKee is 6'6". Jeez. Yeah,
Poor franchise.
Let's say. So I don't really have any other games sticking out. I guess let's take a quick look at the playoff picture. I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about before we move on. Kind of a boring week. All the good games were like Thursday through Saturday. Besides Commanders, Eagles. Looking at the standings, updated playoff standings. Here we go. Number 1 through 7 in the AFC right now. Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Texans, Ravens clinched with their win. And then the Chargers and Broncos. The Chargers now have a tiebreaker over Denver. I think they took both games against them, actually. So they will have the tiebreaker over them. and then the Broncos.
Yeah.
Both of those teams only need to win one more football game, and they are in. And what did I say the other day? The Broncos are in the worst case scenario because their remaining schedule. They have I think the Chiefs and the Bengals. They have the Bengals this week, Chiefs end of the year. Both those teams might be fighting for something, by the way. The Chiefs, that final week, could be fighting for the number 1 seed, hypothetically, if they lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow. The Bengals this week are fighting for their playoff lives because all they need to do is win out. If the Bengals somehow make the playoffs, I do not want to face the Bengals because that would mean they would be on a massive winning streak, just like the Rams right now. I wouldn't want to face the Rams if you're in the NFC. The Colts have been winning. The Dolphins are still winning. Like
I would face the Rams. I would love to face the Rams.
Those teams are all still alive. I think the Broncos are in the worst case scenario right now. I know they have both them and the Chargers have 2-game leads, but right now the Broncos are in the brink of collapse, I could say. All they need to do, it's easy. They could beat the Bengals this week. They're in. I honestly don't think they're going to beat the Bengals. I don't think they will. I think Joe Burrow is more hungry to get this team back where they need to be.
Yeah, it depends on a lot.
The Chargers, all they need to do is win one game. I think they are more than capable of winning one of their final 2. However, The Broncos, I'm scared they're going to lose both these 2. So that's the AFC picture. The only other teams alive are Colts, Dolphins, Bengals. Jets are out now, but we knew that was going to happen.
True.
NFC-wise, we had a couple clinches this week. It goes Lions, Eagles. Rams are now your NFC West leaders. The Falcons are now leading the NFC South. The Vikings, I think, officially clinched this week. The Packers also clinched a playoff spot last night. And then the Commanders are your 7 seed. So right now, the Falcons have the tiebreaker over Tampa Bay. Both of them are 8-7, but the Bucs are out. And the Seahawks are also 8-7, and they are the 9 seed. So for either the Bucs or Seahawks to make it, they have to win their division because I don't think they're going to catch the Commanders at 10 wins. Because those are the teams ahead of them, and the Cowboys, Cardinals, Niners all eliminated this week. How about the Panthers eliminating the Cardinals? How fun was that? Sad to see. We were both pretty high on the Cardinals. Deserved. They're pretty good. But yeah, any little shakeup you're intrigued in this maybe final 2 weeks
coming up,
or I guess any team you could see flip flopping playoff spots.
Let's see. Let's go to week 17 here. Steelers, Chiefs.
I'm just looking at Falcons, Bucks, and Rams, Seahawks. Really,
I'm looking at Broncos, Bengals. I think that's going to be a great game. Broncos, Bengals is going to be my game of the week. I think
the Falcons.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game. Hell yeah!
What is it? Broncos, Bengals.
Hell yeah!
Oh, that's game of the week. I think possibly besides these Christmas games. I'm looking at what the Falcons have compared to the Bucs.
I'm going to watch that straight up.
Just looking here, the Falcons have at the Commanders. That might be a loss. If it's a win, the Falcons might cement themselves. If they win, that's Michael Penix's legacy. These first 2 games.
Yeah,
he didn't really play good football, but don't expect it. Then they have the Panthers the last week of the season, and then the Buccaneers in return. That would mean they would have the Saints end the year, but I forget who they're playing this week. They have the Panthers. Panthers and Saints end the season for the Bucs. Maybe it's in the Buccaneers' favor. I don't know. Can Baker Mayfield get them a division title in the next 2 weeks? Who knows? But yeah, any other takeaways?
That game was crazy. How about that ahead of that game?
Yeah.
Bucs. Ugh. How about the grossest game? So I've watched every single NFL game all year until last night. I did not watch Saints Packers. I fell asleep.
I didn't watch.
Woke up. It was 21-0. And I was like, I checked the stats and I was like, oh, nothing. No one was like popping off. Went back to bed. Crazy.
Only shutout this season.
Yeah. Do you want to?
That's crazy.
Should we get into our Christmas festivities now?
I was gonna say, do we want to do some rapid fire picks for tomorrow?
Let's do our rapid fire picks.
Because
rapid fire picks of the week. All right, here we go.
2 games. Only if we want to do the other one.
Chiefs Steelers. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Non-bias, but bias, but non-bias, but I'm biased, but I'm not biased, but I'm picking this game because I'm biased. So
I like the optimism.
Give me the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I think our home field advantage doesn't really matter at this point. But
I'm excited to see the Chiefs in Pittsburgh.
I'll take the Steelers. 1 o'clock game. Here's my thing. It's hard to have home field advantage at a 1 o'clock game, but on Christmas, the atmosphere will be there. I'll take the Steelers. Kansas City's favored by 2 in Pittsburgh. Crazy. I'm going to go with the Steelers. What do you think, Nate?
Question isn't this Mahomes' first game in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Ooh. I think if I pick the Chiefs, maybe the Steelers will win because I've been having bad luck with some of these Steelers picks. I'm surprised it's only 2.5. I'm surprised they're only favored by that little. I'm kind of curious. Steelers do have Pickens back, supposedly. Looks like he's playing. It's a Christmas game, 39 degrees, it says. Looks like just cloudy. Weather is always a factor in Pittsburgh, especially kicking. Man, I know, Nicholas, I would love to go to this game, but it's like $500.
Story time.
Need to get tickets.
Yeah, I know. How about that? My Panthers picks came to an end. I did not pick Panthers.
What's your story before I give my pick?
So my girlfriend, she goes, I'm talking to her. This was last night, I think. And she's like talking to me about Christmas. She's like, oh, what are you coming for Christmas? All this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be busy over those stuff. Basically, I was just trying to say, like, I don't feel like coming over. Right.
Hopefully she ain't watching.
Oh, okay. She goes, oh, okay. One of these family friends offered me and you Steelers tickets to the game, and I said no because you know it's gonna be Christmas and we're busy. And I was like, oh, like okay, and I was kind of sick about it. And then she tells me how they were box tickets.
Oh,
and then I was like, that's gross. Don't even tell. Why would you even tell me that? Why would you do that? And so I'm sick about it because I should be sitting in a box with my feetsies up in the air, sipping hot cocoa, watching Patrick Mahomes throw a ball, Minka Fitzpatrick coming down with it, juke Travis Kelce, touchdown. But no, I'm going to have to be watching on my couch in sorrow because I could have been in a box watching. So thank you, Sarah.
I'll say this. I was at the Christmas Eve game. Pickett to Pickens walk-off. It was awesome. And you got to bring up, you could have seen Mahomes live. I always, whenever I go see
I could have seen Mahomes live.
Sometimes when I pick games like Pirate games, for example, I like to see who they're playing just to see like other athletes live. Like the only NBA game I've been to, I went to Indianapolis for a weekend or whatever. Giannis was there. It was electric. This dude, I think, and it was, what's his name? Crap. Who was on the Bucks with him? He put up his first career like triple, like 50-point game that day. He's on the Celtics right now. I can't think of his name. I think it's the Celtics, maybe the Trailblazers. Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday.
Yeah, he had an amazing game. I think it was him. But going back to this, I don't want to pick the Steelers, but here's my thing.
Don't pick the Steelers.
Here's my thing.
Don't do it.
The Christmas magic that surrounds Acrisure Stadium is absurd. And I'm going to go wrong with this. It all started Christmas Eve during the Franco Harris celebration. I was there, freezing my butt off. I think you were there too. Pickett the Pickens, Christmas Eve miracle. It was like 11 p.m., freezing cold. Couldn't even walk out of the stadium. Steelers win that game. It was against the Raiders, but they still won. Last year at Christmas, Kenny Pickett goes down. Mitchell Trubisky goes down. They get benched. Mason Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, comes in to guide the sleigh on the December 23rd. Puts up bombs of passes to George Pickens. Christmas miracle at Acrisure Stadium 2 days before. This year, the Steelers get to play on Christmas. A Christmas miracle, I think, is loading for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't want to take them, but I believe in the Christmas spirit that surrounds Acrisure Stadium. It is a magical place. It is an igloo. It is the North Pole of Pittsburgh. It's on the North Shore. Let's bring this up here. Nicholas says the Steelers boast a perfect 2-0 record, having played consecutive seasons on Christmas Day. Pittsburgh delivered its first unforgettable performance in 2016, straight from Google. Now, here it is. I think the Steelers win this game in a close one.
What?
I think the storyline is Russ redeems himself in the final 2 minutes.
How about this? I just remember this. What happened last year on Christmas with Patrick Mahomes? Lost to Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, they did.
And the Las Vegas Raiders in Kansas City.
Yep. Who knows? now I hope that I'm going to pick the Steelers in a very close game, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I believe in the Christmas spirit. Santa's on his way to Pittsburgh right now, man. He's on his way. He's stopping at Acrisure. I believe in field goals as well. Depends on the win, but they're going to need to score a lot of points. They have the total at 43.5. No way. No way it's hitting 43.5. I think it's a low-scoring ball game. I think this defense might be able to silence Patrick Mahomes. I know they've had some hard times in the playoffs that one time, and they're in Big Ben's last ever football game. Sad. But yeah, I think TJ has a splash play. If Deshaun Elliott plays, this is my hot take, we're getting picked from Deshaun Elliott. If he plays. Wow. I'm so high on him. Maybe Patrick Queen does something too. But Steelers win it very close.
Ravens, Texans. Right. I'm going Ravens, Texans. I'm going to go with, Baltimore's hot. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
You know why I'm picking the Ravens?
Must-win game for the Steelers and Ravens.
I think it's going to come down to the final week.
Yeah, it's got to. The Ravens have to win this game. Texans have already clinched their division. Texans really don't care about this game as much just because of the, they have the injuries. They're kind of this. At a realization with that. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens to beat the Texans here.
You know what sucks the most? So many Steelers fans wrote the Bengals game being an easy win. They were going to bench their guys. The Bengals might be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And if they are fighting for a playoff spot, I could see the Steelers just benching their guys.
Yeah.
Because hypothetically, if the Steelers lose this game and the Ravens win, they might just...
I said we were going to lose out.
Yeah, it's very predictable. If they lose this game, I think they're losing out maybe until the playoffs. I want to see them win a playoff game.
But the last game we won against Baltimore, I said we have to win this game because we're going to lose out if we don't.
Now, are we planning on going live Friday or Thursday? Or are we thinking about just this week?
Depends. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Just in case, let's just do the other games just in case. Seahawks, Bears, I'm going Seattle. They're fighting for their playoff lives.
I'm going with Seattle as well.
Chargers, Patriots, LA clinches.
I'm going to go with the Patriots.
I like that pick. They started out hot against the Bills.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That fake punt. Buffalo was pretty shook. Broncos, Bengals, game of the week. I'm going Cincinnati.
I'm going to go with Denver.
I like that. I like we're different this week. Cardinals, Rams. I have the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Wow. Different on everything except for the first three. Jets, Bills, Buffalo.
I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Raiders, Saints, a stinker. You know what? Vegas.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go with I'll go with the Saints.
This is another ugly looking game. Colts, Giants. I guess the Colts. Cowboys, Eagles. This is an interesting one.
Eagles.
Who knew the Cowboys could still finish with a winning record?
Yeah.
You know what? If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, I might pick Dallas to play spoiler. I think we might be.
I'll take Kenny franchise.
I brought it up earlier. This Eagles team is showing signs of last year's Eagles team that started out hot and fell apart before the playoffs. Yeah. If that happens, you know what? Upset. Cowboys beat the Eagles. There it is. Panthers, Bucks. I'm going. You know what? Panthers have another upset. Panthers beat the Bucks.
Give me the Buccaneers.
I like that. Titans, Jaguars. Another stinker. I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Give me Tennessee.
Both these teams are not only if they tie, they're gonna not be able to escape ruining their draft pick. Dolphins, Browns. I'm going Miami, and actually no. Well, 53 degrees. That's not too cold for Tua. I'm still gonna go Miami.
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
A lot of different this week.
Yeah, I got a lot of upsets. Listen, this is the week in the NFL season where teams just crash and burn. Every single year, teams crash and burn. So I'm going to take as many upsets as I can here.
I agree with Nicholas here about the Rams. Him and I seem to be the most high on the Rams.
Yeah.
Out of the three of us. Now here, I think this is the game of the week. Packers, Vikings.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And Minnesota.
This is the fight for the 5, I think.
Listen, I'm going to take Green Bay.
Green Bay. Now, if Minnesota wins this, they hypothetically could still win the division. They're not out of that. And I think Minnesota is going to win. Minnesota Vikings. How about that team? The Vikings are 14-2. Whoa.
Yeah.
Falcons, Commanders. Going Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
I'll go with the Commanders as well.
And then Lions and Niners. This could maybe be the one that clinches
Lions.
That division.
Lions. Don't overthink it. Yeah, I'm taking
Detroit. Nick. Okay, those are all those games. You want to play our Christmas games?
Let's do it. All right. Should we start off with our Christmas list?
Christmas list. What do you want?
I'll
How
start.
many?
I'll do like 5 things.
5 things. You got
On my
things on your
Christmas
mind.
list. Number 1 thing on my Christmas list is Mike Tomlin to win a playoff game.
Amen.
That's all I want.
Pick that. You know what? That might be my one too. I want to see the Steelers win a playoff game finally.
I want. What else do I want for Christmas? I want a Kenny Pickett. I want Kenny Pickett to have another chance in his career, like a starting job. I would like that on my Christmas list, like somewhere to sign him, like the Giants or something, or some team without a quarterback. I want Kenny to have a chance, and I want Kenny to succeed in the NFL. That's what I want for Christmas. What else do I want for Christmas? I want George Pickens to stop acting the way he's been acting and getting penalties. I want him to mature a little bit. That's 3 things. I'll go across sport. I want the Raptors to just commit to a tank and get Cooper Flagg. I think Cooper Flagg. Yeah, I'll put Cooper Flagg.
Seems like
Cooper
a Canadian.
Flagg. I want Cooper Flagg.
He'd fit there.
I want Cooper Flagg. And then my last thing I want for Christmas is I want to beat the Chiefs.
Here you go. I know you're high on this one.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe Pope can get it done because Cal sure as hell couldn't.
Here's my Christmas list. Steelers win a playoff game. Easily. Number 2, Pickens gets a blank check.
Okay.
Like I talked about earlier, they need Pickens, man. He's their best receiver. They suck without him. Number 3, I want Santa Claus to use his magical powers to magically keep Troy Fautanu from getting injured ever. Roman Wilson as well. Actually, you know what? That might be a mix of 3. I'm going to cheat here. My third wish is a combo. Troy Fautanu to never have an injury again and Roman Wilson to finally be freed from Steelers prison.
Yeah.
Number 4, we're going to Pirates. Ben Cherington to wake up and do something. Sign someone that's good. Bring some talent.
The team.
Actually, yeah, Bob Nutting sells the team. That's number 4. That might be number 1, actually, for every single Yinzer known to man.
Yeah. I want a Najee apology too for Christmas.
Ooh. You know what a 5th one is, just for fun? And I know it will never happen. I don't want to say a World Series just because that's basic, even though I love that. I might replace some. I'm going to replace the Pickens one with the World Series. I'd rather have a Pirates World Series than Pickens come back.
Jeez.
But here we go. I'm desperate for one, man. Look at all those jerseys back there. There's more in the closet. Number 5, I want Pittsburgh to get an NBA team.
No.
I want a basketball team. I want something. Please. I'll still be a Magic fan. But I'll go to their games in Pittsburgh. Imagine it. It'd be electric. I wonder if they'd be able to sell tickets. That's probably why. What do you think about it?
I'm not switching.
I can't switch either. I've already invested into the Magic. The train.
I'm not switching. No shot. That's why I don't want Pittsburgh to get an NBA team.
It's such a debate to have, too, because there's people that are like, oh, Louisville would be better. Cincinnati would work. I get Seattle and Vegas, but like Pittsburgh is like that market that is just missing one sports team for the Big Four. Seattle just got their hockey team. They're going to be getting their basketball team probably back in the next couple of years. Probably Vegas is going to get one. Vegas is going to have more teams than the Pittsburgh Steelers in the next 5 years.
True. Yeah.
I agree with Nick right there. I don't think Louisville's fit for an NBA
Not
team.
big enough.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, just because of the basketball background. They just
get a basketball. They haven't get a basketball
historic basketball
scandal
town.
they had. No one.
I don't know, man. I think Pittsburgh would be a
second best basketball city in Kentucky.
Man, I don't think in the next 5 years, honestly, we could be in a world where Vegas has the most teams more than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. The A's are going there. They just got the Golden Knights in like 2018, I think it was. They had the Raiders go there and possibly an NBA team. And they also have a WNBA team that's pretty dang popular.
Yeah. Aces.
The Aces. They have her, and then they have F1 go there every so often. Sure. I don't watch that, but they have F1 go there. They have UFC's there. It's kind of turning into the sports hub of America slowly.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Naughty nice list.
What was the next thing? Naughty nice list. All right. I'll let you start this one off.
You want to start with our nice list? Or you want to know who's on my naughty list?
Let me know who's on your naughty list.
Bob Nutting.
Okay.
I want him gone. This dude's a
Yeah.
bum. Ben Charrington as well. There are so many guys that have been traded. And now I'm going to go on a baseball spiel very briefly. The Pirates acquired Spencer Horwitz in a 3-team deal. Fine. Solid first baseman. I know he hasn't played much, but 6 years of control. Fine. He's kind of a platoon guy, so he's only going to play certain matchups, possibly. I think he's going to be an everyday guy, though. Other teams, like the Nationals and Rangers and all these other teams, making deals for like Josh Naylor, Nathaniel Lowe, guys that are pretty cheap. Well, more contract, but they're on 1 year, so they're practically going to be gone after a year. Take a splash, take a chance. You could have gave up what they were giving up for. Practically nothing. Like actual bums. Like the Guardians, I think it was, received for Josh Naylor a relief pitcher prospect, I think it was, and a second-round pick for a guy that hit 40 home runs. Imagine the Pirates need a power bat. That's also in like my wish list. I guess the Pirates get a power bat of some kind that's not already on the team. I know they signed Kutch back, but that's not going to fix a lot.
Yeah.
Also on my naughty list, if Mike Tomlin loses another playoff game, he's kind of already there, but Mike Tomlin might be on the naughty list soon, especially on the naughty list. Keep going on and on and on if I really wanted to. Honestly, the NBA and NHL right now, they both suck. Like you brought it up earlier. The NBA's kind of been boring. Everyone's getting injured.
It's dead. Yeah,
Bro, my whole Magic team's been injured. Paolo got hurt. Franz got hurt. His brother just got hurt for the season. I don't really know anything else on my naughty list. I guess it's Joey Porter Jr., I guess, just to be funny. Stay out of trouble, buddy. Too many flags.
Who's your nice list?
My nice list.
Nathan wants Tomlin fired every year. I
Listen,
would never want Tomlin fired.
My thing with Tomlin is not winning a playoff game. I'm sorry. I still like him, but I want a playoff win. I think every Yinzer can agree we need playoff wins. I love the winning seasons. Don't get me wrong, but it just gets annoying every single year to hear, oh, his winning season streak continues. Where does it go? 9-8, 10-7, usually. I mean, he's had some 8-8 seasons, which those count as winning seasons. But honestly, like, they might count as a losing season in some books. There's a comparison right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Moving on, my nice list. Paul Skeens, easily. Steelers wise, I guess no. Andrew McCutcheon coming home. Gotta appreciate that. We'll put Nicholas in the nice list for watching us every week. There you go. Hopefully you put him on the nice list too. Casual viewer. I'll put, honestly, I know I hated on him, but Russ is on the nice list, I guess, because he kind of reinvented Steeler football this year. They look a lot better. I know I said I turned heel on him last weekend. I did, but he's been on the nice list more than likely this season. He's got them to a playoff spot. They finally clinched before the final week. And then you know what? One more. Trying to think. You were coach of the Magic right now. That's my coach of the year pick.
Okay.
How about that Orlando Magic team? They're all hurt and they're still winning. Beat the Celtics last night.
All right.
Let's hear it.
I'll go nice list first.
Okay.
My nice list. I'll go Paul Peppermint Skeens. Definitely on my nice list. I like Paul Skeens. I'm sussy for Russie, so I'll copy those two and I'll think of my own.
About Grady Dick.
Grady Dick. Grady Dick's kind of been carrying the Raptors a little bit, so he's on my nice list. Saquon's on my nice list. He's been a dog this year. He's been amazing. Josh Allen's on my nice list. MVP front runner. He's been just amazing this year. TJ Watt's on my nice list. Jaden Daniels on my nice list. All my award front runners are going to be on my nice list.
How could I forget TJ?
Let me get weird here. LeBron's always going to be on my nice list. Not just yeah.
Get riled up.
Who else? Kenny Pickett's on the nice list always. You know, I love me some Kenny franchise. Who else? Larry Fitzgerald's on my nice list. I don't know, just thought of Larry Fitz. Nice guy. Love Larry Fitzgerald. Never dropped passes on my nice list. I'm just gonna think of random guys. How about Travis Ishikawa? Random baseball player I thought of. Nice list.
I forgot the tribal chief. He's on my nice list.
Okay. Roman Reigns is on your nice list. Yeah. I'm just gonna start name dropping random guys now. How about Travis D'Arnaud? Nice list.
John Nagowski's on my nice list.
Nice list. Michael McHenry's on my nice list. I don't know. I'm just name dropping random baseball players. All right, naughty list. Here we go. This is the really thing. This is another thing I care about. Najee Harris, you're on my naughty list. I hope.
Dang it! I really thought
not horrible things happen to you because I don't want you to get injured. I'll never root for an injury, but like I hope your tires get like flat often. I hope like the light in your car is always on. I hope the check engine light's always on for some reason. I hope that you stub your toe like every day you get up. You never really can get comfortable when you go to bed. Just like bad stuff. Like I hope a lot of inconvenient stuff happens to you. Aaron Rodgers naughty list. Guy's just an ass, and he blames everyone but himself. Deshaun Watson's on the naughty list. Just a POS man, horrible person, and Cleveland Browns quarterback. Joe Burrow's on my naughty list. Just don't like him. And he's with Olivia Ponton now. So, no one else can have nice things, but guys like him. Travis Hunter, naughty list. His girlfriend is cheating on him, and he's refusing to admit it on Twitter. So, Travis Hunter, you got to figure it out there. You got to dump her because these allegations are getting crazy about Travis Hunter. Naughty list. For Travis Hunter. Who else is on my naughty list? McCaffrey ruined my fantasy season. So, naughty list. Yep, CMC. Dr. Steven Ziegler from IUP, naughty list. Canceled our radio show up at IUP. If you see this, our show's doing better than yours is right now. Your horrible WIUP FM show. You canceled this show, so we had to make this. You're on my naughty list. Thought I'd get that out there. I hope you're listening to this. Who else is on my naughty list? That's all I can think of right now. But yeah.
What a list.
Yeah.
What a list. Well, anything else today? Any other topics you got to cover?
I don't know.
About those college games we just watched this weekend.
Oh, Franklin. Coach Franklin, naughty list.
Coach Franklin.
I just don't like the guy. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about these games, but I'm kind of mad. SMU got whooped.
The committee's on my naughty list. Bama should have been in.
I was pro not Bama being in, but I was talking to my uncle about this during the Ohio State-Tennessee game.
Alexander's on the naughty list for sure. I don't know if you know who he is. He was him and this guy, Stone Cold Willow. They were like doing stuff. I don't know.
You know who's on the
apparently Xander got like his face painted or something. I don't even know what that means.
Wait.
But
I'm looking something
Stone Cold Willow.
Gotta find a picture. Let me see here. Gotta go on Google Images and share this. I have someone on I have things on my nice list. Let me see this. This would be a good ending for the show right here. My nice list here. I'm gonna share this. Here we go. Let's see here.
This is Costco guys.
This is my nice list, man.
I love the Costco guys. Nicholas doesn't like the Costco guys. I like the Costco guys.
There's no way.
Boom!
Bring the boom!
I love the Costco guys. Nicholas is not a fan of the Costco.
Listen, he's a wrestler now.
Yeah,
he's got in a fight with MJF practically.
I like MJF.
There it is.
Yeah.
How is this the naughty list, man?
We're Costco guys.
Look, how could you hate this?
Yeah, they're fire.
They saved the year.
Yeah. The
Rizzler.
I love the Rizzler. He's a dog.
The Rizzler. There it is.
Yeah.
Boom. Bring the boom. There we go. We bring the boom. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing that.
That's fire.
There's my nice list.
Yeah. Well, I think that's everything for today. But good Christmas special, I guess.
Yeah. We don't know
Christmas
if we're going to
special.
be live this week. We might take the
Yeah,
rest of the week
we'll have
off.
to see what day we go live. But
Yeah.
until then, we've been through 30 episodes, so appreciate everyone that has followed us for these first 30 episodes. Merry Christmas to everyone
Yeah.
watching. Happy holidays to everyone, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Have
Happy
fun watching
holidays.
football tomorrow.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you guys.